Alright, so we have what should be a fun one here. So we have Alex Caceres versus Seung Woo Choi. So we'll break down Choi first. So he likes to fight on the front foot. He's got nice hands. We saw in his last fight, his hands on display. It looked real nice. Put his opponent out quite quickly. What is that sound? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but yeah. He likes to fight the front foot. He's got nice boxing. I feel like a good jab would do his game wonders. But yeah, at the moment he's been doing quite well without it, but I feel like a good jab would just, set up his power shots a lot better. And even though he's been having a lot of success lately, I feel like that could take his game to the next level. But he has a nice straight right. He has a nice 2-3, nice 1-2-3. That's the only case that he really does throw a jab, is the 1-2-3. But he also has a nice push kick to the body, if the opponent's, screwing their stance a little bit, or if they're walking onto it. Nice push kick to the body, he'll switch it up, go front kick up top, try and catch the chin with the toes. But yeah, he's quite a nice striker, he's very clean, he's very efficient with his striking. For Alex Caceres, he's got good footwork, he's elusive. Do I mean he's a good striker? No, not really. He's got good footwork though. He's very elusive, but it just kind of tells a story of him as a fighter. He's very passive, and I'll get into it more in a sec. But he's got good footwork. He's good defensively, kinda. Yeah. He's keeps his hands low though. He always goes for that check right hook. Very predictable. Slide back check 3, basically check right hook is what I'm saying. But he does have his hands low at all time, and he does get predictable with those strikes. He's a southpaw though, so the body kicks and the side kicks is what he likes to go for. That will be open here against Choi. If Choi puts on the heavy pressure, I feel like that won't be, or if he, stays to the correct side of Caceres, then that body kick, the angle won't really be there. And Caceres, he likes every shot to be perfect, so if the perfect angle isn't there, I don't feel like Caceres is going to throw that body kick. So yeah, it's important for Choi to stay on the right side and not give Caceres the angle for those kicks. Break down the grappling of these two. So both these guys, I feel like they don't have great grappling. They don't look to offensively grapple a whole lot, but I feel like the problem with both these guys is their defensive grappling. For Caceres, he lets opponents stall for too long on takedowns or just in the clinch, and just also brings back to the point that he's just too passive as a fighter. He's just lets the fight come to him, and he doesn't really take the initiative to take the fight to the opponent, or take the fight into his own hands and really put a stamp on a fight or on a round. For Choi, he looks to offensively grapple a little bit, trips in the clinch, but yeah, could potentially do it here. Caceres, he doesn't have the best grappling, but probably he will look to just strike it out here. But I feel like Choi does engage in grappling situations when he probably should try and keep it standing, because that's where he has the advantage and that's where he's most comfortable. In the Evloev fight, and I think the Tucker fight, he was just engaging the grappling a little bit too much in the scrambles, and he was just getting out scrambled constantly. So yeah, I feel like that needs a bit of work, but in the last few fights he hasn't really needed to use his grappling at all. For Choi, he has the cardio, good cardio. I've said that like 4 times now, but yeah, good cardio. Again, what I meant to say is that he has the cardio advantage in this fight, because I have seen Caceres slow down, especially at the pace that Choi can keep. And yeah, how these guys lose fights, Caceres is just too passive as a fighter, just zero killer instinct. He's allergic to finishing fights. He's had a few fights where he should have really got the guy out of there, and he just lets them see the finishing bell, just like kind of a mercy thing, it seems like. But yeah, guy's just very passive as a fighter. For Choi, how he loses, subpar takedown defense on the single leg. It's improving, but his balance just isn't great still when he's defending the single leg. And for both these guys, it's the grappling tendencies that we talked about before. So pass to victory for these two. Pass to victory. So for Choi, pressure, keep him on the back foot, don't give him any space for his kicks, and you know, for the techniques that he likes to throw. Cut off the cage, extend your combinations when he's leaning back. So if he's leaning back with his chin in the air, extend your combinations there, try and catch him as he is leaning back. Also mix in takedowns as well. And for Caceres, look for that reactive double clinch, you know, when he leads with the 2, because the left hook is most likely coming after that. When he does the 2, he generally throws the left hook after it. How is the fight going? So, like, I just noticed that Caceres is on a 4-fight win streak, but, like, fuck me, it's probably the worst, like, it's probably the softest 4-fight string of competition that I've ever seen. Like, jeez, just a bunch of, like, total jobbers, basically, no disrespect, but, yeah. Also, like, when you look down at his resume, like, he's just faced total jobbers his whole career, basically, and if he isn't facing a total jobber, he loses, pretty much. And, you know, maybe the one win that has aged a little bit, you know, gracefully, is Sergio Pettis. And at the time, I think, well, you know, what was the size disadvantage there? Like, he would have to have a massive size edge there in that fight. Sergio Pettis is pretty small. But yeah, other than that, his victories are just against total cans. Like, who are these dudes? Like, Ronaldo Lahormi? That's fair enough. Split decision for no contest. Okay, something happened there. Tezuka, Page, Fullen, Cole Miller's decent win, not really, but kinda. Ronaldo D, Martin Bravo got cut. Steven Peterson pretty much cut if he wasn't facing a guy like Chase Hooper on his last contract fight. And then Chase Hooper, total, you know, not very good. Bit of a jobber. Springer, bit of a jobber. Kroom, total jobber. So yeah, you know, what's his name? Caceres is going to land a few good shots for sure, since Choi's striking defense isn't great. But he's just a far inferior striker here, and I think he's going to get pieced up a little bit on the feet. You know, Caceres, he looks like Anderson Silva, and he looks really slick with the slide back check hooks and the hands low, and, you know, the uppercuts and stuff like that. When he's facing guys like Kevin Kroon or Springer, you know, but Choi is going to get the read of that pretty quickly. Caceres, he just gets very predictable with certain strikes and certain attacks, and I think Choi is going to get the read of it and, you know, punish him for that. I think the fight being in the apex definitely does favour Choi, considering the two type of styles that these guys like to employ in fights. Alright, where are we? So, if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Thanks very much, helps out the channel a lot. So prediction is Seung Woo Choi by decision. God damn it, one sec. There we go, got the money lines in there. So, you know, comment your predictions, see what you say. If you have any questions about the breakdown, you know, post a comment, I'll reply to it pretty quickly. I've got the YouTube app now, so I should be able to reply a lot quicker, since it's just on my phone instead of, you know, logging into YouTube every time I go on my computer. Yeah, I'll be much more active, you know, with the comments and stuff. So, but yeah, comment your predictions, comment, you know, what you think is going to happen in the fight. I do think Choi wins. I think he wins by decision. I think the line is a little bit too wide. You know, it's pretty hard to cover this type of money line against Caceres without like a big grappling advantage. His awkward style, it might freeze up Choi, just because, you know, Choi's going to have to make a lot of reads. He'll get them eventually, but like at the start, it might freeze Choi up a little bit, and it might be quite low volume and quite, you know, competitive, kinda. Caceres is pretty good at, you know, making the fights pretty low volume, pretty, you know, go technique for technique. So that's kind of what I'm scared about. So I don't really want to lay that type of juice on Choi in this fight against Caceres, because he is, you know, quite an annoying opponent. I'll probably bet Caceres at this price, at like, you know, plus 240. But yeah, not like huge though, just more of a value bet.